sorry. Welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic mini haul and review. I shall start the haul first and I'll try to warp through this. Now, I'm still kind of on the hunt for hoodies, but I consider a hoodie a sweatshirt with a hood on it, not a sweatshirt type thing with a zipper in the front. That is not a hoodie to me. That is a hooded jacket. So I found this for $2, and this was in the kids section, and perfect size, and it's okay with the blue. I'd prefer the gray, but you know, just my size at the 18, and this at least had the size where you could say, yes, it's an extra large, but it's an extra large kids because it's a US 18. I can fit in 12, 16, no, was it 14, 16, and then it goes 16, 18, so I'm kind of in that range. So this fit with plenty to spare. So it was $2. She did charge me the right monies. Very comfy. And the next thing I got was what I got today. And this is going to be for a friend of mine who likes bears. And I just loved this. It's a bear roasting marshmallows. Come on. You know they do that in the woods. So I hope she finds this really, really cute because I thought it was adorables. And that was $2 whole. And this next thing, I've got to kind of solidify the buttons. And I wasn't quite sure how she was going to charge me because even I wasn't quite sure what you would consider this. And it's totally not going to come up on camera. It comes from Ideology. And it's a... it was Ideology, Believe in the Movement. Size small. But I plan on wearing it as a shirt. And the way it goes, you can kind of do... It's not quite a high-low thing, but it's a... It goes below your butt. And you've got 2 snaps here. In a this way direction here. But you've got a row... Well, 2 sets of snaps here. So you could have it like this with the bottom snap and it'll be kind of open, or you can have it like this where it'll be closed like a shirt, which is what I plan on attempting tomorrow. And she charged me $2.75, and being pink it was half off, so I'm like, you know, having no brain for numbers, being dyscalculic, oh joy. So it's what, not quite $6, but so I'm thinking like $4.99. Would half of $4.99 be $2.75? I don't know. It didn't quite make sense, but $2.75 was acceptable. And I was kind of wondering if she'd charge me like a jacket or if it's a long sleeve shirt. So I will accept $2.75 for a mysterious type thing, which belongs here now that it's covered in partial cat hair. Now, on to the review. Today was the day that this came out. Now, we wanted to see it in the theater. This is the first Star Wars that I've actually missed seeing in the theater. The original Luke Skywalker era, refurbished isn't quite the word. When they redid it in the 90s, remastered version. Thank you so much, I needed that. So I got to see like the first 3 in the theater, and then of course we saw the prequels. It's really confusing when you're like, the first one is the, to me the first one's the 77 version, not the prequels. So you kind of like, how do you explain this to people? So when the post-quills came out, my brother kept trying to like, oh, have you seen it? It's like, shut up, Russ. Shut up, I have not seen it. And I've been trying to like not watch like reviews and things like that because I didn't want to like spoil it, even though I kind of knew some things. Like, things that happened weren't surprising to me, which I guess would be the first part of my review. Now, this was as it came out on sale today. It was $20 at Walmart, and since I got it at Walmart, I got like, I think it's through Voodoo. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, where I can get the digital copy. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get the Blu-ray and the DVD and the digital, where it was like 17 something just for the Blu-ray. Like, yeah, we're getting this. So he can have the DVD, and I got the Blu-ray and the digital, so I watched this tonight. After a rather stupid start, I'm watching this like the first 15-20 minutes like, this is supposed to be the movie of the generation. I can say, hell no. The first Star Wars was the movie of a generation. It set so many precedents, and it was just levels of awesome. Now it's been around for 40 years. Just because you slap Star Wars on something isn't going to make it this epic opus. No, this is not the movie of a generation. Does that mean it sucked, though? I did enjoy the movie, and I was far more impressed than I thought, being that it wasn't Lucas and, those people dealing with it. Being J.J. Abrams, I'm like, so I'm kind of like, okay, I will humor you. Bring it. So, now, I liked the actors and the characters they play, except the villain of the story. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to bitch slap that guy. Really? I'm supposed to feel threatened by this whiny little scrawny British guy in a mask pretending he's Darth Vader? I'm sorry. Ain't gonna happen. But, aw, man, what he did. Okay. Spoilers for the two of you that have not seen this. What he did to Han, and so, that did not surprise me. The moment he walked on screen, I knew this was going to happen to Han Solo. So it was not surprising at all when it happened. You just had that feeling about it. And I just felt for Chewbacca, and I'm like, oh, you just want to give Chewie a hug. You know how much he loves Han. Come on. But the villain, even though he did that, he's just such a whiny little, I want my mommy type guy, and I'm like, really? The only horrible thing is what you did to your father. Again, spoilers. And I think the main character, Rey, I think I kind of figured out her connection to everybody. It's like, there's no, like, secret. It's so written out there, like, there's no surprises in the movie. So that was kind of disappointing. There were no plot turns. And the guy, Finn, I love the actor. The character kind of feels to me the way C-3PO was in the original movies. He's sort of the comic relief. I just can't buy a stormtrooper raised from birth from the first, the hell they call it, the first Empire, the First Reich, which I'll get to in a moment. To be these sort of cold-blooded, emotionless killers, which you kind of picture a stormtrooper to be. This guy, I can't see this happening to a fairly old stormtrooper, regardless of his role on the station, suddenly turning, okay, this is his first battle, and he's like, okay, this sucks. I don't buy that. I could have seen that plot thread, have him kind of back and forth as he's being pulled away from the environment he's known, and not just suddenly, okay, I'm a good guy. That, I didn't buy that at all. But as far as the new Empire, the first Empire, or something like that, they're so, it's just like, the one scene, though, where it's set up like Hitler talking to the Reich, that was creepy. That you really finally have a context of how it was, how the Empire is formed, and the whole faceless mass type creepy thing that I can't fully appreciate being few generations removed, but it's like, that was a powerful scene, even though the ginger guy was kind of laughable. But but I will admit, the Sunstar, well, I'll call it the Sunstar, but I can't remember what the name of the actual, Super Death Star, that was wow. And I loved the technology behind it, how the Death Star, Super Death Star Rey actually functioned. It kind of made sense. So that was impressive, which makes, when they kind of showed, Death Star, Super Death Star, I mean, obviously, you have the size of a small moon and something that's got to surround a sun. So, the technology behind that was very impressive to me. again, I mean, the section where you first meet Finn and Bill, or whatever the hell his name was, they sort of it out so fast I couldn't understand it. It was so full of cheese. It's like, really, dude, really? But I was kind of happy to see him at the end. And I'm like, oh, dude, the guy made it. Not so. I don't understand the whole, oh, the little robot's so cute. Well, yeah, he's kind of cute, but he's not in the movie enough to be like, you don't have the emotional attachment to Ball Boy there like you do R2. You know, there's not enough there to be like, oh, yay. As far as, like, Rey is concerned, she was cool right from the start. She was just, she's like an elegant badass. But I really kind of funny, but then, you know, Star Wars, you have to have people with English accents. But it did kind of throw me for a minute, and it's like, what? But I liked her a lot. I don't understand the stupids that were like, oh my god, Princess Leia, she's so old. No shit. I mean, really? It's not like 40 years have passed, and she was 18 in 77. Really? But I thought she was still beautiful. She was still very Princess Leia, but she's more queenly now. I kind of wish there was more of her. I hope there's more of her in the coming movies. So, and she's still holding the good guys together. So, she might be a very tiny woman, but she's a force to be reckoned with. Though I do kind of find it... I don't know if it was intentional, or if it was something because they couldn't think of anything else. The little ball boy robot there has to take this piece of information back to the rebellion, or the resistance now, as they're called. The same way Leia gave R2 the piece of information to give back to the rebels. And it's like, really? We've done this before. Come on. But the whole dynamic with, like, Rey and Luke and the connection there, and I'm like, I think I know where this is kind of going. So, but I was so happy to see the Millennium Falcon again, though. It's like, boy, that thing just keeps on going and going. And then it's like, how could Han lose the Falcon? Really? So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, as far as, I would give it maybe a 4-star. I wish I could have. Parts of it feel like a rehash of the first movie. You know, it's a wonder I didn't see an Ewok going by. You know, it's like there's fan service and like Easter eggs and nodding the, you know, and keeping with the lineage, as it were. And then there's just like, we've done this already, and it's not like done in a way. It's just so blatantly obvious. But there's like scenes like the cantina scene, and you know, things that just felt redone. I was very happy to see, you know, the old crew again, and I can't remember who was talking about it. I think maybe Angry Joe. Brain just exploded. Han, Mark Hamill, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford will always be Han Solo. He still has that just sort of Han Solo-ness about him. I don't quite understand the hairdo at the end there, where it felt kind of like the headphones. It wasn't quite the Leia buns. Not quite sure. I do find it kind of funny, though, that Rey's holding her sort of saber staff, and at no point in the movie does she actually use it as such. I mean, she knocks down Finn a few times, but there's no actual combat with that. She carries it around a lot, which is, you know, I would have liked to see in a like quarterstaff, almost Darth Maul type thing, but sadly it wasn't. And knowing the villain, the sword just seems such a joke now, because it seems like a spoiled little brat who couldn't get his way, brandishing his fancy sword. The villain is lame, okay? He is such a lame-ass dork, I can't help it. And he alludes to, like, I need to stop the pain. Grow up. I was like... Though I kind of wish they spent more time with Han and Leia as kind of in a relationship and not having him sent out to find Darth Baby Butt there. Chewie was always awesome. I liked the little... I'm not sure what you'd consider. She was sort of like a female golem if he wasn't bad. She was kind of adorable. I liked her. She was a really cool character. I haven't watched the special features yet because I just, watched the movie. And it goes, visionary director J.J. Abrams brings to life the motion picture event of a generation. Again, hell no. As Kylo Ren, really? And his sinister First Order rise from the ashes of the Empire. Luke Skywalker is missing when the galaxy needs him most, even though they really don't go into why they need him. Well, they kind of do, but it was just sort of like, oh, hey, Luke's missing. Hey, we need him. Find him. Bye. So, but again, this is supposed to be the first in a trilogy, so... it's up to Rey, a desert scavenger, who is not on Tatooine, I might add. And Finn, a defecting stormtrooper, to join forces with Han Solo and Chewbacca in a desperate search for the one hope of restoring peace to the galaxy. Code subject expiration after 2021. Okay. You can kind of feel Disney's touch on it, which is kind of disappointing in the fact that Princess Leia is a Disney princess. I don't know if it horrifies me or thrills me. I don't know. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about that. But I don't feel I missed out on anything not seeing it in the theater, though I'm glad I picked it up to watch on DVD. So, the only reason we didn't get a chance to see it on DVD is because, schedules didn't work out, so it wasn't for lack of trying. Yeah, it's a good kind of popcorn movie. If you don't take it too seriously, if you don't compare it to, like, the original epic, true generational awesomeness of Star Wars, it's a fun flick. Those of us who grew up watching the original Star Wars on TV, and I'm a fan of the unscrewed around with version, where you could see, like, the lines and the and things in the stop motion. Though, I will add, too, when you see the debris on these different planets, of, like, the AT-ATs, the Imperial, the Imperial ships, the Super Star Destroyers, you really kind of appreciate the scope of, the war for, against the Empire. And, these are planets I've never, I suppose that was the point I was going to make with Angry Joe. That either him or somebody mentioned that they tried to bring everything together. Not just what was canon in the movies, but the stuff in the stories, in the novels, which I guess are considered canon. Maybe it was a nostalgia check, I can't remember. And it does feel that way, because I am familiar of, whose kid is whose, and, they both have the Force, and one's a good guy, one's a bad guy, so I do know the story, which I think is why there was no surprise here. So it does feel like they're trying to take a lot of pieces and just go, here's a movie! So, it was entertaining. I liked it. Worth a rewatch or two. Don't feel I missed anything not seeing it in the theater. Wasn't surprised by pretty much anything that happened in the movie because I could see it 10 miles away. So, I definitely am not going to have gaps in my Star Wars collection because I do have the entire series and both versions of the original movie on VHS. So, that's my opinion on Star Wars The Force Awakens. So, thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. There's always room for one more at the strange and exotic, and may the force be with you.